Hello everyone, welcome to What to See Next, a film show where I recommend movies and other media for you to watch. I'm gonna come up with a better slogan, as I said. I am not going to delay this any further. Let's talk about one of the most anticipated movies of the year. Wicked. I saw it tonight, so I am getting this one out to you fresh. The movie is, of course, based on the very popular Broadway musical starring Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth. The movie version stars Cynthia Erivo and Arianna Grande as Elphaba and Glinda, and is directed by Jon M, whose previous movies include Crazy Rich Asians, In the Heights, and Step Up 3D, which I loved as a kid. I will forever profess that Step Up 3D is the best Step Up movie in the franchise. Let's bring it back to Wicked. I went to school for theater, so of course I've had my exposure to Wicked, though I wouldn't say I'm a diehard fan of it. I know the general plot and have listened to the cast recording as an album and various renditions of it by my friends. Some are better performed than others. Whoops. And I must say, Wicked is a very well-made film that is sure going to please the theater kid in you. There were a lot of theater kids in the auditorium, and there were definitely some cheering and crying in the theater. A lot of Wicked fans were in the crowd, and it seemed like everyone liked it. Seeing the movie with the crowd was an amazing experience, like I was seeing this on Broadway. Although it is not much of a secret anymore, I feel like I should tell you this. This movie is a part 1. It is not being marketed that way at all, as most of the posters just say Wicked. With that being said, the film does not feel stretched out. I was very happy with where they chose to end it. Very much on a high note. You know which one I'm talking about. I kind of knew going in where in the story it was going to cut off, and I wasn't wrong. Those of you who know the structure of the Broadway show, I feel like you also know where it will end. It is a very fitting end to this part 1 of a story, and it is still a very satisfying moment. This movie needs to be split into 2 parts, much like Dune, and I mean it. The movie makes use of its time with its nice pace, not too fast where it seems like everything is glossed over, but also not too slow where it drags. The movie sits at around 2.5 hours, and it didn't feel like it at all. I was enjoying everything as they came, and before I knew it, the movie was done. Honestly, the parts that fell slow to me were just parts that got me itching to get to my favorite numbers, which brings me to the music. I went in with an open mind. The Wicked cast recording has been around forever, and once you are familiar with something, you can get adverse to new changes no matter how minor, just because you know how it is quote unquote supposed to sound. Both Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande did an amazing job. Cynthia Erivo's voice is just so powerful and resonant to me. She is different than Idina Menzel, but she's just as good. This is a wonderful showcase of talent on the screen, and she pulls it off so effortlessly, both in the singing and acting departments. As for Ariana Grande, her vocals here are very different than what she does in her pop discography, but she was also a Broadway kid, so she also nailed it. She plays a very likable Glinda despite all the things she does to Elphaba towards the beginning, and her performance got a lot of laughs from the audience. The sets in the movie are also very well done. This is the kind of movie where you want to see the practical sets. With it being originated in a theater setting and being set in Oz, a practical set will just lend itself to this movie, especially when you consider The Wizard of Oz, a movie that is known for all of its sets and the colors that are ingrained within those sets. Of course, there is bound to be some CGI here and there. There are some talking animal characters and things that basically just cannot be built, but everything blends together so well that sometimes it's hard to distinguish between sets and CGI. Overall, I think this movie lives up to the hype, and if you are a Broadway kid, I feel like this would be right up your alley. I am a casual enjoyer of the Broadway Wicked though, like I said, so if you are a die-hard fan of that version, I would love to hear what you think about the movie version down below. Thank you for watching, and consider subscribing for more. Peace.